Mining in Mongolia, Rio Tinto has been in talks about the future of its giant Oyu Tolgoi mine. We find out the latest. And sweet or sour, why India's sugar mills are losing out on every tonne of cane they crush. Welcome to Asia Business Report. I'm Ali Moore. The boss of mining giant Rio Tinto, Sam Walsh, spent his weekend in Mongolia for talks on the future of the giant Oyu Tolgoi mine, one of the world's biggest copper and gold deposits. Rio Tinto controls a majority of the project, but the next phase of expansion has been held up over disagreements about costs and taxes. Discovered in 2001, it's been operational for less than 2 years, but has just marked 1 million tonnes of copper shipments, a big milestone for all stakeholders. Well, for more on the talks over the weekend and what was involved, I'm joined by Travis Hamilton from Khan Investment. Travis Hamilton, many thanks for coming in. First of all, how significant is this mine, both for Rio Tinto and also for Mongolia?
Look, it's absolutely huge. It's already regarded as one of the top 3 copper gold projects in the world. Last year, it contributed to 44% of Mongolia's exports, generated a gross revenue of about $1.6 billion. This year, that would contribute about $2 billion US dollars gross revenue for Oyu Tolgoi. Beyond that, it's incredibly important for Mongolia in terms of phase 2 development because it will bring much needed FDI to the Mongolian economy.
But that phase 2 has been held up for a long time now. What are the core issues, and do you believe Sam Walsh's visit, his first since he started to head to Rio Tinto, do you think it's paved the way forward?
Look, I think it's a huge milestone in negotiations. The importance of Mr. Walsh's visit cannot be underestimated. Of course, there's been a lot of very complex issues, and of course, there's been multiple stakeholders involved in these negotiations since agreements were originally signed in 2009. Importantly, though, I do think that all interests are aligned. Mongolia wants the project to go ahead, as does Rio, who really needs to diversify away from their heavy reliance upon iron ore, a commodity whose prices have collapsed, more than halved in the last 12 months, and some analysts expect will potentially decrease a further 40% this year. On the other side, though, the future for copper looks extremely bright as we see more of the emerging markets and growing middle class around the world electrifying.
So they both want it, but obviously they've been stuck in a rut over costs and tax. What do you think is the impetus for those issues to be resolved now?
Well, I think you have to look at both sides of the table. From the Mongolian perspective, I think the impetus has really been a collapse in foreign direct investment over the last couple of years. That led to a change in leadership November of last year, and recently appointed Prime Minister Saakashvili is committed to growth and rectifying falling foreign direct investment. Again, from Rio's perspective, I think it's this need to diversify away from its dependence upon iron ore and ultimately potentially ward off approaches from Glencore.
Well, Travis Hamilton, many thanks. We'll wait for a formal announcement from Rio. If you're right, should be coming shortly. Thank you very much. Thank you.